Okay, well, what we're looking for when we first examined him was, by and large, what degree of attachment there was between the extra leg and the underlying tissue. We were really concerned with whether it was attached to the underlying bone of either the spine or the shoulder blades, which was going to make the surgery infinitely more complicated than if it was just attached by muscle tissue, which thankfully it was. What we did, I had to feel and mark out the point where I felt we had to cut around through the skin, keeping in mind that we needed to preserve enough skin so that we could join it back together when we finished. We couldn't leave a gaping hole there, so I had to leave enough skin to enable us to close the skin properly, but by the same token removing all of the tissues associated with the extra leg, in this case basically bone and muscle tissue. Look, it wasn't overly complicated. From the point of view of an amputation, it's not like we get to do fifth legs on calves all the time. That's the first one I've ever seen, but from the point of view of amputating anything, it was relatively straightforward. Basically, we incised through the skin, worked our way down through the muscle, had to be very, very careful because a limb of that size has got a very large blood supply. So what we tried to do was work through the muscle tissue until we were able to isolate the arteries that were supplying the extra leg, and we've then actually clamped and tied off those arteries. I was very happy with how it went. Yeah, I'd have to say it's uncomplicated. Our main issue was that so much tissue came out. We're left with what as surgeons we call dead space, but it just basically means there's a hole there where we've dug the muscle tissue out. And we have to be very careful that we don't get a big blood clot forming in that hole, which could potentially become infected down the track. So that's why we've put a drain tube in there to allow any oozing or bleeding to any little bits of blood to run out, so that it can all knit together nicely and heal up okay. I would say excellent at this stage. Barring any complications, I don't think it could have gone better.